Welcome to ForeverFit.tv, your online source for fitness, nutrition and lifestyle. With your host, Nicola Riley, personal trainer, nutrition and lifestyle coach, here to help you get in the best shape of your life.
Hey, welcome to podcast episode number 40. Well, it's been a really cool week this week. We've just been doing filming week number 4 of this second phase of bootcamp, which has been really cool. My legs are so sore today, and it's 2 days later, so that workout on Monday was awesome. So you've got that to look forward to. And also this week planning the 21-day yoga retreat, online yoga retreat that we're going to be running after in about 6-7 weeks time, which is going to be really cool. So I'm putting together all the video workouts for that and all the other information like the mind and lifestyle sort of things that we're going to put in with that. So it's going to be a fantastic program, 21 days, like a complete detox reboot program that you can do at home and just get yourself feeling fantastic. And it's right before the next boot camp, which will be really cool. New this week in the online gym, I have gone recipe crazy, and I've just done a whole lot of recipes that are just for online gym, and they are incredible recipes. Like I've got about 6 salads that I've put in there. I made this amazing chocolate tart that's using like ground almonds and buckwheat flour for the base, and then a real chocolate yummy tart centre. Then I also made different sorts of breakfasts that you can choose from. It's just a whole lot of different recipe ideas to help you find ideas of how you can eat clean, because often we end up just eating the same food all the time, or we get caught into the trap of what exactly is the right thing for me to be eating. I don't know if this food is right, what should I be doing? And along with that, in the online gym, I've also, under the getting started part of the website, I've put in a whole lot of new posts, and these posts are, the first one is the 20 steps of leading a forever fit diet. So I've got all the different steps of exactly what you could be doing and what you should be avoiding and what foods are right, and so that's a really good place for you to start. I did have that in there, but I've just improved that. And then I've also put a sample menu plan in there as well. Again, I did have that in there, but I've made that even better, so it's nice and easy. So that's under nutrition, the tab at the top, nutrition, and then the getting started tab in the online gym, and you'll see all the posts there that just help you get off to the right track and get you sorted with all your food. And then what you can do later on is, once you've got those basics right, that's when you can go and you can fine tune your diet, and you can channel it in a bit more, see how you can manipulate a few things, a bit of biohacking, and seeing what foods make you feel incredible. So you might be more of a protein type person, or you might be more of a carb type person, and so this is where you can tweak it even more. But if you follow those basic rules to start with, you're going to be off to the perfect start. The other things I've been putting in the online gym is just some more posts under the nutrition banner, and just ways of helping you really get things sorted with your diet and getting things on track. And so new this week for workouts, we have got like a wicked extreme. It was 7 exercises, 7 rounds, and it was really, really primo. We used equipment, and it was like a perfect way to start the week. Then I've got a really short, fiery HIIT workout that used lots of dynamic, cool moves with the kettlebell that got us using our core lots. And then we've had that Wednesday workout of a really nice power yoga, which had a huge focus on the core again. And then speed training and endurance training on the Saturday. So a nice cool week in the online gym if you are following along with that weekly schedule that I'm putting out each week. But if you're not, you could be following along with any of the other programs that are in there, because there's all sorts of programs for all levels. So if you're not quite up, don't want to be doing the program that I'm putting out each week, there's like a beginner's program, beginner's running program, all these ones here that are building us up in our fitness all together. So heaps going on, and so we've got a few more weeks of this phase, and then we're going to have our recovery week, and then we're going to hit phase number 3 3-hour boot camp, and then head on into that spring yoga kind of detox thing, which will actually be approaching spring. It'll be a very perfect time for us to do it, end of winter, getting ourselves all ready for the summer ahead, over this side of the world, that is, anyway. So today I want to talk about, or start with talking about how different ways that you can get yourself out of a bad mood. And being in a bad mood is something that happens to everyone, and sometimes we can get stuck into the mindset for that day, and we wake up that day and we just woke up in a bad mood. I got out of the wrong side of the bed and we're stuck with that mood. And so the fact is, we are wired to look for negative thoughts. It's our survival instinct, and there's 64,000 thoughts that you have in a day, so many of them are wired just generally towards the negative area. And so the key is to understand this and don't be too hard on yourself, but then you want to find ways that you can pull yourself up out of the doom and gloom, and you can start to look at the glass half full and how you can use that to better motivate yourself throughout your day as well. So here are some things that can help pull you out of a bad mood. So if you are in a bad mood today and you're wanting to get in a good mood, maybe you could try one of these things and see what happens. So first one, do something good for somebody else. This is a great thing. There's nothing more powerful than putting a smile on somebody else's face. Step number 2 is turn up some really cool music that you love and just listen to it. Step number 3 is what you're doing right now, is listen to a podcast. Step number 4 is make an amazing, nourishing green smoothie that's just full of nutrients, because remember, food and nutrients affect your mood and affect your emotions. So if you are in a bad mood, you could actually just be lacking some nutrients and some minerals. So make a real nutrient-dense smoothie and just feel that lift your mood. Do a HIIT workout. Exercise releases endorphins, boosts your mood and increases your energy. So just do a nice short HIIT workout, get that body moving, get the blood flowing. Do a meditation from the online gym. There's meditations in there where you can just tune out, close your eyes and just focus on you for a few moments. Go for a walk or get some sunshine. Do some foam rolling, stretching or yoga. Find something on YouTube which is a real inspiring video that you want to watch. There's so many cool videos that people I love watching on YouTube. One of the best ones I love is Marie Forleo TV, and so if you haven't watched her before, check out that. She's always got some inspiring videos to listen to. Write down some gratitude and what you're appreciating right now. Plan your next vacation or staycation. The thing I'm loving about the plan that I've got for the online gym this year is we're doing everything in 5-week blocks. And so in the past, Ben and I, we haven't been taking holidays and we haven't been getting away, and then we tried to take one every 12 weeks and we tried to get away every 12 weeks. But doing this plan of these 5-week blocks, it's actually been really cool, because then we make sure that we actually practice what we preach, and we're getting away every 5 weeks. We're, Ben's family has a cool wee batch not too far away, so it's nice and easy for us to get away, and we're only just a couple of nights away. It makes a massive difference, but we're making sure we make that happen every 5 weeks, and it's so powerful. And yeah, I really encourage you to do that. So if you are doing these 5-week blocks with me in the online gym, make sure that use that as a plan so that you can just go away and just relax and fill your glass up and just feel that feel how your motivation changes when you do just get some time out from your normal routine. So step number 12 is put on an iPod with some new music and go for a walk on the beach, or go through something interesting, like some interesting streets down your road. Meet a friend for a coffee or make a date for dinner. Lie on your back on the grass in some sunshine. Walk barefoot on the beach or on the grass. Look up some stunning healthy recipes and create a really amazing meal for yourself. Make a list of goals for next week and the month ahead. Step 18, read a really inspiring book. 19, eat some chocolate, some good homemade chocolate that's got mood and enhancing chemicals in it, so it's really good for you, and magnesium in it as well. So it's one of the nature's highest sources of magnesium, so getting some good quality chocolate can help calm you down and de-stress. Be optimistic. Even if you're in a bad mood, just make yourself change. Change your screensavers on your phone or on your laptop to a daily affirmation that you want to try live by for the day. Go try on some clothes. So no need to buy, just try, unless of course you want to go buy some clothes. Walk around some vintage antique shops. This is what I'm loving doing at the moment, just because I'm getting into all my photography and just buying little cool cups and knives and forks, and I'm on the hunt for some cool backgrounds, like some real rustic wood and things like that. So I'm hunting out vintagey wrecker yards at the moment, which is interesting. It's funny how your eyes change when you take your normal drive. Sometimes you might be looking for something else, and at the moment I'm looking for scrap metal on the side of the road. Be interesting. Step number 5, have something interesting to talk to people about. 26 is know that you have the power to change your thoughts. So that's a whole lot of different steps you can change if you are in a bad mood, and ways that you can get yourself out of it. So you have the complete power to change your mood. You've just got to recognise the fact that you are in a bad mood and put things in place to allow yourself to switch out of it. To take control of your thoughts and move from being like a glass half empty to a glass half full kind of person. Part of that there was talking about goals and the types of goals that you want to be setting yourself, and what sort of goals are the right sort of goals. And I'm a huge fan of goal setting and making sure you have like new challenges. And the thing is, the type of goal that you set is going to play a really big impact on whether or not you move towards success or whether or not you move towards failure, or you just repeat the same patterns that you're always putting on yourself. So too many people set themselves up with common goals that are based around like losing weight or a certain look. And the thing is that this sort of goal is really hard to measure, and it's often not realistic. So I'm constantly talking to clients and people who are in really great health. They've got really good energy, great sleep. They wake up energized, skin's glowing, eyes are bright, strength is fantastic, everything's improving, but they're so caught up on those scales, and it's not the number that they want in their head, and so they're letting this one number completely ruin their day. If there's one piece of advice that I want to give to all women, is just to ditch the scales, throw them out, because they mess with your head. And you can wake up in a fantastic mood, you can wake up feeling brilliant, and then you hop on the scales and it's just like all this amazing energy just gets washed out of you if that number's not saying what you want it to say. And there's so many things that affect your weight, and there's so many things that you want to be measuring your success by, and you'll be changed. Let's not say that you don't want to be heading towards an area, but it's better to use other things as your measure. And you're going to know when your body's changing and feeling stronger and fitter, and the way you look, the way you feel, the way you stand, the way your clothes fit, and all these things are such better measures and motivators to keep you on track. So the thing is, so number 1, get rid of the scales. And so I challenge you just to forget about your size and your weight and just start to think about progressing things like your strength and your fitness. Because every single workout can make you fitter and can make you stronger. And if you don't keep progressing, you won't stop improving. So if you turn up to a workout and you go, right, I'm going to get stronger today, I'm going to get fitter today, I'm going to push my limits today. And if you're turning up to a workout with that mindset, you're going to keep improving, and your body's going to start to change, because your body is changing in those times. But if you're turning up to work and just going, right, I've got to burn 500 calories, I've got to burn 500 calories, got to burn 500 calories, or however the amount is, and then you've got that in your head all day, and then you're obsessing over food, it just becomes a very vicious cycle, and you don't actually improve with your fitness and your strength. You're just doing the calorie games, and it's a hard game to do, and it's not where you're going to get results. So you want to practice setting goals that are bigger than a set of scales and bigger than each day that comes ahead to you, and then each and every day you want to work towards achieving those goals and reaching past them. And so when you are then creating a stronger, healthier, more stable yourself, instead of somebody that gets all emotionally stressed over some scales and what that number says. So today I want to talk, after this, was all about celebrity diets and what goes on and how we what we see as the public. The thing to understand, when you see an article in a magazine and that magazine says something like Jennifer Aniston's top 10 favourite exercises to do, or her secret to weight loss, thing to understand is that whatever celebrity it is, that celebrity has absolutely no idea that article is going into that magazine. That celebrity has got a PR agent, and that PR agent is writing something according to what that magazine is needing. And they have a really good tie with that magazine, so they're writing articles that are going to appeal to the market. So it's all about marketing, and it's about making content that sells magazines and makes money. And the other thing to understand is that whatever that people get really caught up, and they're like, how on earth did so-and-so lose so much weight after that pregnancy, and how did she go from looking like that to looking like that? And so often those celebrities also have access to a vast array of professionals, and most of them will have like a personal trainer, like a Pilates instructor. They'll have their home chef, and they'll have so many things around them making them able to drop that sort of weight that fast. And they're not like you and I, where we are, making our own food, we're working 9 to 5, we're got other stresses in our life. So it's a complete different concoction. So my point of this is to not compare yourself to celebrities and what's happening in there. And the worst thing you can do is read celebrity magazines. I picked up one when was it? I don't know, about 4 weeks ago. There was one sitting on a table, and I just opened it up and I was like, oh my god, this is just such trash. And I read through it just out of like humour, really, and I just reminded me that so many people read these magazines as gospel, and they're obsessed with these sorts of magazines, and they are good fun to read, don't get me wrong, but do be aware that marketing is marketing. Celebrities have different things in place, and as soon as you start comparing yourself to what an article in a magazine says, you are setting yourself up for failure. And this can be really frustrating, and so it always comes back to what is it that you're wanting to achieve, and set yourself up with the right knowledge, the right tools, and the right support around you to get there. And so if you have got any of those magazines at home, I encourage you to get rid of them and get some magazines that really do inspire you, and know what it is that you want to achieve and want out of this life, and what it is that, like, the type of information that you know is right for you, and how you can move forward from here. So the big topic of today is what's right, paleo or vegan? Which is the right way to go? And how do you know what's right for you? So you can sit in a room, and there could be a whole room of vegans, and there could be half a room of paleos, and they will hate each other. And the thing to understand here is that the underlying factor that ties the two of these together is that 70 to 80% of their diet is really similar to each other. It's all plant-based, it's real food. The only difference is one has more protein and the other one has no protein from animals. So when we get caught up into putting a label on ourselves and trying to put ourselves into a category, because I mean, you're not aware of what the paleo diet is, the paleo diet is a paleolithic diet, so it's where you're eating meats, vegetables, nuts and seeds, and a little fruit and some fish. And so it's based around meat, and then you got your vegan diet, which is vegetables and fruits. So the only thing that's not the same between them is the protein source. But if you were to go and research vegan and go into the vegan world, you would discover that they're about eating real food, real nutrient-dense food, making sure your food is real, organic, natural, getting rid of processed foods, getting off the gluten, getting rid of all the crap out of your diet. And the same with the paleo diet. It's the same principles. So if you were to go into either of those worlds, they're going to be teaching you some incredible things that aren't on your standard diet and away from the food pyramid, which is great. And when it comes to which one is the right one for you to be doing, which one is the right, like, who do you listen to and where do you go, this is where it always comes back to you and your body and knowing what's right for you. But so much of what I do is teaching you how to understand your metabolism and your own metabolic type. So you can be a carbohydrate-based sort of person, or you could be, which is like a slow oxidizer. So this means you burn through your food quite slowly, or you could be a fast oxidizer, which is a protein type, which is where you have much more, where you do better off more protein-rich meals. And so when you start to look at food this way and not looking at it into some sort of diet word, and you're eating real food, this is where you start to tweak your food so that you're finding the exact foods that work best for you. This is why some people do incredible on a vegan, vegetarian diet, and they'll be thriving and they'll be swearing it's the best thing in the world, but you may have tried it and you're like, no, I just exhausted. Or it might be the other way, that they might have tried a heavy protein diet and they were just exhausted, or it didn't work for them, or they put on a whole lot of weight. So this is one diet that works for you may not work for somebody else, and it's about working out where you fit. So you start to base your meal. So this is why in the online gym as well, I've got the whole metabolic type questionnaire, because it helps you sort of go, okay, do I go more left or do I go more right? And it just gives you a good start of where to start to base your food. And then you can work out what sort of breakfasts are going to be right for you, and lunches and dinners, and then you can start to manipulate it from that and start to add different things in. And you might find that you do better with some fruit, and you might find that you do better with, you might be okay with a little bit of like raw dairy or butter in your food. And it's my big message out of this is I want you to just don't put yourself into a category of a diet. Just put yourself into eating food that works for you. And there might be one day of the week that you do eat vegan, and there might be one day of the week that you do have lots of like fresh green juices, and there might be one day of the week that you're like a paleo with lots of protein. And it's just finding out exactly what works for you. And then some days when you have a real heavy training, that's when you know that you need a more carbohydrate based meal, or vice versa, you might need a more protein based meal. And there is no single diet that is right for everyone, and it's all just about making sure that you start with a good base, a good foundation, a good knowledge, and build your diet so that it works for you from there. And everything you think about should be based around a vegetable diet, should be based around loads and loads of vegetables. The more vegetables you can get into your diet, the better. And then it's whether or not you add in where your protein's coming from, because we need to make sure we've got protein in every meal. So if you are heading towards more of a vegan, vegetarian area, that's where you might need to get your protein from legumes and from some gluten-free grains and lots of nuts and seeds. But if you are more of a protein type, then you may not want to go towards the legumes and things, because you can get your protein from meat. So there's a huge array of of choices that you could be making, and it's about making the right choices for you. The other thing to understand is that we're all completely different. Like, our digestive system's different, our history, our stress levels, we've all got a completely different metabolism, genes, genetics, and so one food's medicine. One person's food can be a medicine, and it can be a poison to somebody else. So if you're basing your food around lots and lots of vegetables and real food, and then you're tweaking your things into that, that's the main thing that you want to be making sure when it comes to food, the choices that you make. So my take-home message from there, I've gone round and round in circles, is trust your instincts. Get your food so that it's real, it's nutrient dense. Base your food around micronutrients. How much micronutrients can I get into my body? How much nourishing can I get into body? And then what is the best protein source for me? I've got this big vegetable base on my plate. This is breakfast, lunch and dinner I'm talking about. I've got this big vegetable base on my plate. Okay, what is my best protein source? How am I going to get protein? How am I going to get good quality fats into my body? Put that on your plate and then eat this incredible nourishing dinner, breakfast, lunch, and just ask yourself, was that the perfect combination for me? Start a food journal. Write down, felt good, felt awesome, that was the perfect meal for me, really, really good, that meal made me jittery. And just starting to write down all these little things so that you can learn to understand what is the best way for you to fuel yourself each and every day. And that is the way you're going to discover your perfect diet, your amazing fuel that sets you up for the most incredible day up ahead. And don't get caught up into thinking that this is your diet forever, because we're always changing. My diet has changed over the past 2 years incredibly. When I was going through the first part of my healing, it was a very heavy, a much more protein-based diet, and I was following the GAPS principles and getting protein, lots of broth, and it was incredibly healing. It made my, fixed my adrenals, healed my gut, all those sorts of things. So that diet was fantastic. Then I went through, I merged out of that, and I started to have more fruit and more carbohydrates, and now naturally my body's actually wanting me to head out of that, and it's just slowly but surely I'm actually moving more and more back towards a protein type diet. And this is just things that are changing my body, how I'm feeling, and I'm just noticing things that my body's wanting and that I'm running better off. And so don't get caught up into thinking that this is me and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Start to get really in tune with what you're doing at this stage of life. What's your training, what's your sleep, what's your stress, what's going on, what does my body need, how's this food reacting in me. And the more you get into the habit of doing food journals and listening to your body, the more you're going to really understand how you can tweak things and change things according to what's going on. So if you're trying certain foods, you're like, oh, I'm not sure if that works, but I feel like I should be doing that because it says that over there on the black and white piece of paper or the web page or whatever. Don't get caught up into that. Play around and go, oh, well, I'm actually going to cut that out and see if that makes a difference. And just start to tweak your diet, see what works, and the magic will begin. Trust your instincts, trust your body, and eat real food and the best quality food that you can source. Okay, so that's it for today's episode. It was actually a bit of a short episode today. I hope you are having an absolutely magical day up ahead of you. If you have got any questions at all, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Otherwise, make sure you sign up to my newsletter and get weekly updates of everything that's been going on, and check out all the incredible recipes. I got myself my micro lens. I'm so excited. So see if you can notice a difference in my photos, and if you can, let me know, because that would be really cool. I want to be able to make these photos incredible for you and just improve my photography so that I can make yummy recipes and deliver them to you so that they are appealing and they look really scrumptious. And also in the hope of me, I want to create a yearly recipe book, a print copy recipe book And so I'm halfway through the year now, so I've got 6 months to get it happening. And so if I want it printed by the end of the year, that means I've got about 3 months to produce it. So I'm putting the whip on my tail, and I'm making myself make that happen. So watch out for little wee hints and sneak peeks of the recipes that go into that book too. Hey, so have a fabulous week, and I will talk to you really soon for your next episode. The materials and content in this podcast are there to educate and to inform. There is no substitute for professional care by a doctor or other qualified medical professional. This podcast is provided on the understanding that it does not constitute medical or other professional advice or services. Instead, I encourage you to discuss your options with your healthcare provider who knows your condition and your health history. Guests who speak on this podcast express their own opinions, experience, and conclusions. Nicola Riley encourages you to make your own healthcare decisions based on your research and in partnership with your qualified healthcare professional.